You're listening to Thunder and Lightning on SuperTalk Mississippi, covering Mississippi State sports like nobody else. With Sports Talk Mississippi's Brian Haydad and Robbie Falk of On3 Sports. Now get ready for Thunder and Lightning.
This is Thunder and Lightning here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Brian Haydad and Robbie Falk here with you on a Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us here at supertalk.fm or wherever it is that you get podcasts from. We appreciate you guys out there, our great listeners, especially our servicemen and women out there taking care of us. We want to thank our sponsors over at Strange Brew Coffee House and Churn and Spoon Ice Cream. Start your day the right way with a trip to the drive-thru over at Strange Brew Coffee House here in Starkville or at Brupolo over in Tupelo. It'd be a little weird, Robbie, if Brupolo was in Nesbit.
It would be a little weird.
Wherever you are in our great state, you can enjoy Strange Brew Coffee each and every morning. It's just a click away at strangebrewcoffeehouse.com. The Mississippi Beef Council wants to remind you that beef, it is what's for dinner. If you're cooking out this weekend, nothing beats the sizzle of beef on the grill. Treat Dad to a steak this weekend. If he wants to cook it, so be it. If not, so many great steakhouses around the state of Mississippi ready for your Father's Day lunch or dinner. Enjoy a great steak this weekend with Dad. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Thanks to our friends at the Mississippi Beef Council. College Corner, collegecornerstore.com is the place to find the maroon and white merchandise that you are looking for. And I certainly know that you are looking for it. Again, Father's Day, right around the corner. So if you're in the Jackson area, you need a last-minute gift for Dad, a trip to College Corner and get him a new polo, a new hat, a new T-shirt, or something for his car, something for the tailgate, whatever it is. Whatever Dad likes, it's maroon and white. We've got it at College Corner. 2 locations in the Jackson area, Ridgeland by Fleet Feet, Florida by the Half Shell. You can shop online at collegecornerstore.com. Restaurant Tyler is Starkville's flagship restaurant for lunch, dinner, or Sunday brunch. The best meal in town is at Restaurant Tyler. Let's stay on the Father's Day theme. You can take Dad to Father's Day brunch at Restaurant Tyler, and he's going to have a great, great meal, a very good experience. That's letting Dad know that you care when you take him to Restaurant Tyler for Father's Day brunch. Or anytime you go to Restaurant Tyler, it's always a great meal, always a great time, always great people. We love Restaurant Tyler here on Thunder and Lightning, and you will too. Head over for the best meal in town. It's easy. Just go to Restaurant Tyler. Priority One Bank, 16 locations here to serve you throughout Central Mississippi. Let PriorityOneBank.com be your guide and show you not only how they're going to help you invest and manage your money and prepare for the future. Nope, that was it. They help you invest and manage your money, and they show you how to prepare for the future. I got ahead of myself there. That's okay, though. I get excited about Priority One Bank. They're good people. It is what it is. So if you need if you're looking for a bank that provides a different level of service than what you're used to, a bank that's going to know you and have that relationship with you just as well as they know your money, you need to take your business to Priority One Bank. Let Priority One Bank make you their priority. Busy morning here. So I was just telling Robbie, if you were listening to Sports Talk Mississippi yesterday, we had a power surge in Jackson, and it knocked everything off the air. And apparently it's fried our phone system. So I've been recording interviews all day for Sports Talk Mississippi since I'm the only one hosting it. So I can't just talk for 3 straight hours. That's it. I just can't do it. I got to have some backup in there. So,
well, I tried to offer my services. They did not oblige. So,
I mean, you could just do a segment with me tomorrow if you want to do that.
No. You can handle it. You handle it yourself. I was trying to help.
You got it all next week with Borky. So
that's true. Yes.
So, and you got Thunder and Lightning next week too. Not Thunder and Lightning Live. So that'll be fun. When you've done Thunder and Lightning Live, you've always had big guests. Who you going to try to get?
I don't know. I'll ask around. See what we can
Don't you get O'Connor? Don't you do it? Don't you have O'Connor first? Don't you do that?
Hey, all bets are off.
No.
If I'm running the show, all bets are off.
No, sir.
You should have taken a break in the middle of what could have been a big news cycle for Mississippi State, whether it be College World Series or a new coach.
All right, first off, I knew for a fact when I planned this, I knew for a fact I wasn't going to have to worry about the College World Series. I knew it. All right.
You did not know that.
And I wasn't 100% sure that I'd have a coaching search going
This
on.
Is your fault.
The coaching search is over. It's over. They have the coach.
This is your fault. You have to put this where there's absolutely nothing going to happen. Unless it's some kind of
I can't plan. This is my daughter's birthday. I can't plan. It's when it is.
Shouldn't have had a kid at this time. Sorry.
When was she born? 09. She was born in 09. I wasn't really concerned about the College World Series, Cohen's first year. I'll just tell you that.
That's all on you.
All right. Well, The Rumblings, as Robbie's hat will tell you, the Rumblings are brought to you by our friends over at Paul Davis Restoration. When disaster strikes, you need a name you can trust. Paul Davis Restoration is here to help you recover from water, fire, mold, and storm damage 24/7. Their expert team provides fast, professional service to restore your home or business to its original condition, but they don't stop at just restoration. They offer property improvement services to make your space better than ever. Paul Davis Restoration, your recovery and property improvement are their priorities. Call them at 662-769-7285. Let them bring your property back to life. All right.
I saw they were busy on Sunday with the floods, the flooding that came in.
I'm sure they were. And that's why it's great to have somebody like Paul Davis Restoration around when stuff like that happens. So
that's right.
Jarrett Reister starts us off today. Why is W called W when it looks like a double V?
I've always wondered that.
Are asking great questions lately. This is one that has plagued society for years. Why is it not double V?
It really doesn't make much sense, but there's a lot of things that don't make sense in life.
I mean, I agree with you. So we will move forward. We don't have a good answer for you there, Jared.
The W.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds, the actor. What are your top 3 Ryan Reynolds movies? I think we would agree that Deadpool is at the top of the list here, right?
I still have not seen Deadpool. You
haven't seen the first one?
I haven't seen either one.
Oh.
I've heard it's very funny.
It's hilarious. It's really, really good.
I haven't seen it.
That's got to be one.
Are you a big Amityville horror fan?
I like the Amityville horror. I don't know if I'm going to put that in the top 3. I'm trying to think my way around Ryan Reynolds. I loved Waiting.
Waiting is a great movie.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's really
I got to pull
really
up
good.
some of his movies just to get a refresher. The Proposal was a good movie.
Okay.
Objectively good movie with Sandra Bullock.
Okay.
What was the one where he was it Just Friends? Where he was like, he grew up like a fat kid and then he got famous or something and lost a lot of weight and he came back and like his best friend, like he was kind of falling in love with her. What's the name of that movie? Just Friends. Yes.
Friends. Okay.
That was a good movie.
Okay.
Waiting is probably
I love
my
Waiting.
favorite Ryan Reynolds movie.
Oh, what about Van Wilder?
Van Wilder was funny as well.
Okay. What about Blade Trinity?
I don't remember much from him in that movie.
Triple H is in that movie.
Apparently Jessica Biel was in that movie.
Yeah, it was star-studded. Yeah.
Spent some money on that
movies, so yeah. I would probably, for me, go Deadpool, Waiting, and Blade Trinity. Those are my 3 favorite Ryan Reynolds movies.
He was in the Fast and the Furious.
What?
Fast and the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, I haven't seen Hobbs and Shaw. I can't deal with that one. So there you go. All right. Willie Dizzle. In the movie Face Off, if John Travolta and Nicolas Cage would have actually swapped faces before production, would they have named the movie Face On?
Could have. It would have also been.
What a great question. What are we doing?
That would have also been.
I love Face Off.
Quite strange.
Great movie.
That is a good movie, yes.
All right. Nathan Kelly with a question that, I feel like Dan Orlovsky needs to hear the answer to. How many times can you reuse a towel before it's officially gross? Now, you're change it out. You change it out pretty quickly, right?
I'm a 2 and done guy.
2 and done. Okay. I'll go.
You're like a week-long guy.
A week is okay.
So, while I am a 2 and done guy, I think a week is okay.
You're still acceptable in a week. Okay.
All right. So it's dependent on how well your towels dry.
Yeah.
If your towels are dry, like within 10, 12 hours, like you hang them up and it dries relatively quickly. Yeah. You don't have to worry about mildew, stuff like that.
I also shake myself like a dog when I get out of the shower, so
If you have a good ventilation system in your house where it's drying, I think that's fine because it's just water.
Right.
It's just water and air. And what you're drying off clean, so it's not like you're getting any sweat or dirt or anything on the towel.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the next time you wash clothes, like that's a good time to do it. I'm 2 and done, but if you tell me that it's a week and your towel doesn't mildew or anything like that, I mean that's what I do with my hand towels. Like if I'm cleaning dishes and stuff, the next time I wash those hand towels is whenever I'm washing clothes. Or like if I'm drying my hands after washing my hands, it's probably next time I'm washing clothes, which is like a week or a few days. Now it's like 2 or 3 days because I have an extra child in my house. So, but anyways,
we're on the same page. Davis Medford asks us, more passing yards, Arch Manning or Garrett Nussmeier? I think it's Nussmeier.
I think so.
Yeah. What did yours do last year? Texas is a more balanced offense than LSU. LSU throws the ball a lot. If we do the second-year starter thing with LSU, he's going to have a monster year.
Well, let's see what Quinn Ewers did last year. Because I feel like he threw for a pretty good amount of yards, and he was hurt.
Here, last year in
almost 3,500 yards.
Yeah, he averaged 248 yards per game. Let's see what Nussmeier did last year. Nussmeier averaged 311 a game. He threw for 4,000 yards in 13 games.
Then I guess we're going with Nussmeier.
We're going with Nussmeier. All right. More rushing yards, Lenoris Sellers or Taylon Green? I think Sellers is an easy pick here.
Probably Sellers.
Okay. More receiving yards, Ryan Williams or Eric Singleton Jr.? Feels like Alabama will throw the ball more. And I think Williams is a more talented receiver. I'll go with Williams.
Yeah, he's going to be a go-to guy for him.
Yeah. And then last one, finish higher in the Heisman voting, Carson Beck or Gunnar Stockton? I just don't think that Stockton's going to have the numbers to be a real Heisman. He'll win a lot of games, but
I think Beck will do well at Miami.
I'm on the Carson Beck redemption tour bus. I'm on it. All right.
I still think a lot of Carson Beck's issues was the offense. I just don't think the offense is very good.
Yeah. All right. Papa Crawdad wants to know, rank these college sports finishes. Walk-off home run in Omaha, buzzer beater 3 in March, 40-yard touchdown to win as time expires in a playoff game. So a Hail Mary, basically.
Ooh.
I think it's the buzzer beater.
It's the buzzer beater, and then it's the 40-yard touchdown.
A Hail Mary is to win a college football playoff game would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then the walk-off is third. But
and those sports are just more –
They're all fantastic.
Well, and those sports are just more like the buzzer beater, the basketball and the football are just more popular sports.
Agreed. Bryce Hall, explain the defensive improvements we as a fan base should expect from football like we're 5 years old. Who, buddy? Okay, first off, last year we were very bad. We were very
Mommy
bad.
and Daddy love each other.
We made bad choices last year, and that's why we ended up being as bad as we were. Now, this year, we got some more people. We got some smart people in the room with us, and we're going to try to be better this year. Now, we went and got some new people that we think can help us be better, but we don't know. We don't know for sure, okay? We're going to have to let it see what happens. All right, we're going to have to wait and see. What do we say about being patient? We got to be patient, okay? Okay, buddy? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be patient with these guys. We're going to see what happens.
And if they get more than 10 sacks this year, maybe we can go to Walmart and go get a prize.
Yeah. If we can hold teams.
Can we go get a Happy Meal at McDonald's?
If we can hold teams to less than 25 points per game this year, we can go get ice cream after. Okay? We'll go get ice cream. We'll go to Churn and Spoon. All right? All right, buddy?
We'll get the Thunder and Lightning.
Yeah, we go.
They still have not changed the name on that. But
our good friend Lee Battelle asks us, do you gentlemen know if bears actually crap in the woods, or is that something old folks used to tell their children just to get them to go to sleep? Yes, does a bear crap in the woods has always been like, yeah, it does.
I've never understood that.
Well, it's like you asked a question that's so obviously a yes that you need to be made like an idiot.
Okay. So that's what it means is like, well, does it...
Like if you were to say to me, hey, Dad, let's go to Two Brothers and I'm buying, you in? And I would say, well, does a bear crap in the woods? Because it's such a dumb question. Obviously, I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how that works.
Makes sense.
But that being said, yes, bears actually do crap in the woods. Our other good friend, Brian McDuff. What is hotter right out of the microwave, the inside of a Hot Pocket or minute rice? I've never microwaved minute rice.
No, I always do I always bowl it.
It takes 5 minutes. Why would I put it in the microwave? The inside of a Hot Pocket there is no middle ground.
It's literally lava.
It's either literally lava or it is still frozen solid.
You bite into it and it's a brick, it's ice.
Yeah.
Or you bite into it and your teeth melt.
And you literally won't taste anything else for 3 days. Your taste buds are gone. The roof of your mouth is like the surface of Mordor in there.
Yeah, I think Hot Pocket is the answer.
Yeah, I agree. Jacob Henson wants us to rank these minor league baseball team names and logos: the Crawdads, the Trash Pandas, the Curve, and the Biscuits. I gotta go Curve last. That's not.
The Trash Pandas is forever my top.
I have a Trash Pandas T-shirt, so I
love the Trash Pandas.
I like the Biscuits second. The Crawdads. Where are the Crawdads? Where is that team? Are they in a Crawdad?
Is that North Carolina?
Let's find out. They play in Hickory, North Carolina. That's not really a Crawdad area.
So the Trash Pandas is Huntsville.
Huntsville,
right? And correct. that's the Angels AA, I think.
I believe that's correct.
Montgomery Biscuits is Tampa Bay AA, I think, or either AA or high A.
They're the AA of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah,
correct.
I don't know the Altoona Curve.
Let's see.
That's a new one for me.
The Altoona Curve are the AA of the Pirates.
Okay.
So there you go.
Makes sense. I'm ranking Pandas, Biscuits, Crawdads, Curve.
I agree, 100%. All right, Broen Fairchild, I haven't been following the house settlement deal that closely. Could you please explain it to me like it's the house settlement deal for dummies? I'll do you one better, Broen. I had wrapped up an interview not long ago with my handsome young son, Ben Portnoy of the Sports Business Journal. That'll be on Tuesday's Sports Talk Mississippi. I encourage you to tune in and listen to it. And because I asked him that exact question. It's like, explain it to me like I'm a fifth grader. So
yeah, because I don't understand all of it.
I don't.
So I need Ross Dellinger. I need our good friend Benjamin Portnoy to dial it down for us.
I was sad. The interview cut. I didn't have enough time to throw in one last question. Do you know who votes for the C Spire Trophy? I didn't have time.
You got to get that in next time.
Next time I'll make sure.
Maybe when you get John.
We did get a Sokoloff mention in the interview.
That's great.
Yeah, because he talked about being a lawyer. I was like, no, we leave that to Sokoloff.
We never forget our great friend John Sokoloff.
That's right. If the vest from Ferris Bueller is expected to sell for $600K, how much would you be willing to pay for the gloves and trunks from Rocky IV if you had real cross money? Have you seen this, by the way? The jacket that Ferris Bueller wears in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, they're saying it's going to go for $600,000 at an auction.
It's like a leopard print or something?
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Like,
gosh.
I don't know why. If I had real money and I could get the Rocky Balboa American flag trunks and gloves, I'd pay $1 million.
Yeah, if you were rich.
Yeah, if I had real money, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of things that I would buy that's just kind of throwing away money.
Oh, yeah. But that's
especially if that's for charity.
Oh, yeah.
And I could write it off as like a gift or whatever.
If I can get an autograph, if I can get Sly Stallone's autograph on the gloves and I have the trunks.
That'd be sick.
Easily $1 million.
Can I get Thunder Lips to sign that as well?
The greatest specimen that ever lived, baby. All right. Roe asks us, is it just me or has it been very quiet on the women's basketball side? Should we be worried? I believe you should be worried. I think Robbie would tell you the same.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be tough this year for sure. It was kind of like you had all the stars aligning for baseball with the Brian O'Connor stuff. This was kind of like the worst possible time for the women's basketball team to be dealing with this whole, like, everybody front loading all this money before the house settlement thing. Because I didn't think State was really in the market for doing that. And you got players that just are not very good that are asking for six figures. And you got players on your roster that are asking for a lot of money as well, and it just didn't line up with what they were producing. And so you have kind of a max exodus of players off of the roster, and you're struggling to get big name players out of the portal. The people I talk to think that there's a chance that this was kind of a one and done thing for State as far as like it being that way in the offseason. They feel good about it moving forward, but we'll obviously see about that. I think Sam Purcell's doing a really good job in high school recruiting.
Yeah.
So the key for him, I think, is going to be retaining players moving from year to year. I mean, they're having a lot of turnover the last 2 years. He's got to be able to kind of lock that down and start retaining some players. That's going to be the difference for him.
All right. Ford Polk, what's more important to a team's success, bowl practices or spring training and practice? It's got to be bowl practices, right? Because that means you're successful. You went to a bowl.
Yeah. I mean, that's one way to look at it. I think that makes sense. As far as the actual training,
you get more out of it.
I don't think you get that much better in bowl practices.
No.
Spring training is more important in that regard.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're looking at it from the standpoint like you're playing in a bowl, you're right.
My wife's friends invited us to come visit them in the fall in Virginia. They live near Charlottesville. My question is, how much Mississippi State baseball gear should I wear? Use promo code Thunder15 to save 15% off at Maroon & Co. You should wear all of it, as much as you can put on your body.
I'll tell you one thing. I went to Charlottesville last year for the regional, and how it feels in Charlottesville, Virginia on June 10th and how it feels in Starkville is a pretty stark difference.
Yeah.
Like there's like hardly any humidity. It feels amazing at all times throughout the day. That's a really good thing about Charlottesville. But yeah, to answer your question, I would definitely wear some Mississippi State gear around Charlottesville and wear it proudly.
I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida this week for work. Where should I eat?
We should call Bob Carskadden.
You need to tweet at Bob Carskadden. That's what you need to do.
I don't remember what I ate.
Yeah.
I ate at a place. We went to the bowl game a couple years ago. I ate at a place like off the beach.
Yeah.
That was kind of like a
freezer
to fryer place.
The only thing I remember from my trip there was the Columbia restaurant, which was really good. But that's the only one that stood out to me. So, but yeah, hit up Bob. He'll tell you.
Yeah.
We'll do two more and then we'll go to the break here. Drew Bruce asked us, what do y'all think the chances that the O'Connor gets the top high school recruits like the Parker brothers and Harmon to campus? One of the Parker brothers is a projected top 10 pick. He's not coming. I think that's JoJo.
Yeah, well, and if he goes, I think the other one goes. I mean,
I think they're both gone. Yeah.
I think you're going to lose the Parker brothers, and then we'll see on Harmon. I think he probably is going to go too, but you never know. I mean, I don't know what these guys' numbers are, and Brian O'Connor's had a pretty good track record of keeping talent from the draft. So we'll see. I mean, State's going to have a good NIL budget to spend. I think they can survive without them, but it would obviously be nice to add them to your roster.
Yeah. Jack Taylor asked us, do you think baseball players that transfer from State and end up playing in MLB will be included on our State to the Show number on the outfield wall? I don't think that. And
No.
Who would that be like right now? Who's somebody? Slade Alford? I don't think Slade Alford's going on the wall. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, there's nobody right now.
Yeah.
That is really an interesting dynamic. Like, you have players that make a name for themselves at a certain school.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them play for 4 years and then transfer for one season. And then the team they transferred that they finish with, they get to claim them.
Who claims Malik Heath?
Yeah, like that's the kind of the crazy thing is like State had Malik Heath most of the way.
Yeah.
Ole Miss gets him for 1 year. State doesn't claim it. Ole Miss does.
Yeah. So there you go. We'll do one more. It seems like that's from Tim Lang. It seems like the walk across home plate with the crowd in attendance was a huge recruiting tool. How can we replicate this experience in future transfer windows? Thinking a baseball experience night with a community invite. Well, what I would tell you is what they used to do. I don't know if they can do it anymore, but like they would bring recruits to official visits at the basketball games and they would bring them in like after the first media timeout, and like you saw them coming in and they would get a huge ovation. And I don't know why we don't do that anymore. So I don't know if that's illegal
they don't do
to
it as
do
much.
or if they just don't do it. That's something that's easy to do. If Levy's walking out and he's got all these guys behind him, everybody stands up and cheers for him.
Well, and Levy did that to a certain extent, like during basketball season, like would bring all the guys and sit them in the lower level and all that. But another thing why you can't do that is because you used to be able to do that in January during a big SEC game.
Can't do it
before the February signing period.
Yeah.
But in baseball, I don't know. What I would say is I feel like Brian O'Connor and his staff should utilize this fan base more. Let the information get out. I'm not just saying that because I'd like to release information, but you should put the information out that guys are visiting campus.
Yeah.
And let your fan base do the work. I mean, you have a rabid baseball fan base. You're not going to get many more fan bases that, go wild on social media like this one. I would utilize it.
Yeah.
That's what they do for women's basketball. And, football is a little more equalized, basketball same way. But for baseball especially, that's one way to do it. It might not have the exact same pool that it did the other night they've landed pretty much everybody that was in attendance for that. Yeah. But I still think it would make a difference.
Yeah. All right, let's move into the rest of the show. That's brought to you by our friends over at Two Brothers Smoked Meats in the heart of the Cotton District. And, of course, the Older Brother, two of our favorite restaurants here in the city of Starkville. Depends on what you want. Do you want that smoked Southern soul food, those barbecue tacos, sandwiches, the prime rib sandwich? Do you want pulled pork? You want smoked wings? Then you go to Two Brothers. But if you want a shrimp po' boy, if you want that Philly cheesesteak, if you want my favorite, the croque monsieur, or you want Robbie's favorite, maybe the best burger in the city of Starkville with the best French fries by far in the city of Starkville, then you want to head over to the Older Brother. You got great options right there in the Cotton District where you can't go wrong with either one. Two Brothers Smoked Meats and the Older Brother. Great products, great service. Every business likes to promise it to you. They deliver it to you at Advantage Business Systems. That's what they've been doing for 50 years.
Yeah, brother.
If you need technology for your business, give Advantage Business Systems a call. That way you're talking to the person who's going to make you the sale, and that's the same person you're going to talk to if you need service after the sale. You have that relationship. It's just different than when you buy it at somewhere else and then they give you a 1-800 number to call and you're talking to somebody you've never spoken to before. And they're setting up something where they're going to be there in a week. Your copier breaks at your office. Could you go a week without it? I don't think so. That's why you need to talk to our friends at Advantage Business Systems. 601-362-9192 or visit them online, absms.com. Find out how Advantage Business Systems will help your business do business. If you're going to be out in the yard this weekend, you need to make a trip to Scruggs Farm, Lawn, and Garden. And if you want to make it a quick day in the lawn, you don't want to be out there all day, you need to get some John Deere power behind you. They've got you taken care of at Scruggs. Commercial mowers, 0% financing, 24 months. You need to haul stuff around your property. They've got you covered. The John Deere Gator, 2.5% financing, 48 months. And if you got the big jobs that you need that compact utility tractor for, again, with John Deere, 0% financing for 72 months. All of these offers are valid through July 2nd. Visit Scruggs Farm, Lawn, and Garden today for these amazing John Deere deals. All right, back into it here. Mel Gibson's? Is that a cow? Mel Gibson's cow? What?
I believe it's Mel Gibson's cowbell is what he's trying to say.
There's a bell. I didn't see the bell. Mel Gibson's cowbell. Okay.
Correct.
How many hats do I need to buy in order for Eric Becker to commit? Well, a bunch. This is not actually a Rumblings question. Moving on. I just realized he was replying to me about something else. Moving on. Sorry, Mel Gibson's hat. Cowbell, whatever. The bearded man with the fish. Robbie mentioned last week that he had missed me. Sorry for not asking questions. There it is.
Welcome back.
So with the new House settlement and the elimination of scholarship limits and such, how much will Missouri and Mississippi State suffer for Auburn's infractions? What's the good news is I don't think there is any more suffering. I don't think there is any more infractions. I think you just do whatever the hell you want nowadays.
That's true. They're mostly pounding like Fresno State and, to people in lower conferences at this point.
Yeah. Where are we here? Joe, I'm sorry, no, Alan Kimbrough has our next question. What are three of your favorite traditional Southern desserts? Mine are pecan pie, bread pudding, and peach cobbler. What are yours?
Banana pudding
Mhm.
is there.
Mhm.
It's got to be traditional Southern
Mhm.
desserts. Uh, hmm. I've really grown on, or pecan pie has grown on me. I was not a big pie fan, but I've kind of changed my stance on that. And then I guess bread pudding, white chocolate bread pudding would be in that mix as well.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Probably very dangerous for your health, but
Yeah, wow, that's
who cares? We're not here for a long
as
time.
you know, I'm not a big I don't like banana pudding. So
Correct.
I'm gonna go bread pudding. I'm gonna go chess squares. I love chess squares. Love them.
Okay.
Love them. And I'm gonna go blackberry cobbler.
Interesting.
That's mine. Those are my three Southern desserts of choice.
Okay.
All right, Joe Atkinson. When reporting on revenue by sport is licensing for reporting. I'm sorry. When reporting on revenue by sport is like you guys have got to start throwing some commas in here. Is licensing for baseball specific logos, M over S, 85s, etc., credited to baseball?
Yes.
Okay, there
I
you go.
believe there is a I believe there is a disclaimer or something on there that says baseball only.
Okay, there you go.
Now I think I think there's like some times where like they had the baseball national championship, and you did the M over S on the helmets.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some times where like they bring that out, but for the most part, I'm pretty certain that like the M over S and that Mississippi State block or whatever
Mm-hmm.
is baseball only. And at one point, I want to say State Script was like baseball. I could be wrong on that. But it's also kind of like, I mean, that's just like the licensing of it. Like, it's also like State can do whatever they want.
Yeah,
So,
there you go. All right. Working for the weekend. Which is better, Oreos, original or double stuffed? It's got to be double stuffed.
it's
I mean,
double stuff.
it's got more of the thing that makes
I'm
it.
not buying the Oreo cookie just as itself, like
No.
just the cookie part.
Yeah.
I'm buying the Oreo because of the stuff in the
Filling.
middle.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
I got you. Brownies, edge or center? I am a center brownie. I want soft all around.
Depends on what is if it's fudge brownie, if there's
Mhm.
fudge on the inside,
Yeah.
I like the soft.
Yeah.
I like the centerpiece.
But what do you like?
If it's a regular brownie, then I would like the outside, the
Okay.
crusty. But
I don't agree. Ice cream, soft serve or scooped? I love soft serve ice cream. I
it's
love
also good.
Dairy Queen dip cone so much. Soft serve.
Yep.
M&M's, regular or peanut? The real answer here is peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Picking between those two, I want regular. I don't really like peanut M&Ms.
Correct.
All right. And the last one from working for the weekend. Is water wet? It is not.
Well, does a bear crap in the woods?
No, it's not, though. It's not wet. Water is not wet. Being wet is the state of having water on you.
We've talked about this before, haven't we?
Have. And we have disagreed on it, I believe. But
well, no, I think I might have agreed with you after we talked it out.
If you put water on somebody, they become wet. But water, you can't put water on water. So it can't be wet. Water is not wet.
Water can't be like you can't douse water with water.
Right. It's like the same way fire can't be on fire.
No, I think I'm with you on that.
Very good. Wade Jones, I haven't watched this video.
I don't know if I want to watch the video. It looks scary.
Well, we're going to open it up here. We'll just mute this real quick. And I will watch this. And how long is the video? It's 1:34. I don't know if I can share it here or not. Oh, I would absolutely not do that under any circumstance. Have you seen Black Panther?
Yes.
Black Panther. You know when they fight and they're right there at the edge of the waterfall?
Yeah.
You got people like doing that basically. They're like sitting on the edge of a massive waterfall. And if they slip, they're going to die. No, absolutely not.
I mean, if you just make like a tiny little mistake here,
you're gone.
You're dead.
You're gone.
And there's not. No, I'm not one of those thrill seeker types.
No.
Like if this just goes into like a 10-foot pool or something,
that's one thing. Sure, 500-foot drop. No,
nah,
not interested.
I see people all the time like they're dangling from a rock, like on a mountain or something.
No,
like, why?
Not
if that
me.
thing just falls, even if you're doing everything correctly, you're dead.
LZ Orange asks us, do you think the oil states will become more dominant in college football because of the NIL money they can consistently raise and donate? The problem with that is like Texas, you have Texas and Texas A&M. It's not like just one school. If Louisiana was an oil state and they were getting, then they'd be in trouble. LSU would just be like, all right, we do whatever we want. But you got to split it up amongst all those Texas schools. So I say they'll be better, but I don't know that it makes this massive difference.
I'm interested to see what Texas Tech does. They're obviously
they're spending big money.
I'm very interested to see if that does anything for them long term.
Yeah, we'll find out. Also from LZ, would you rather see 10-game SEC schedule instead of having crappy out-of-conference games than we would likely see with 9 SEC games? LZ, I'd rather see an 8-game SEC schedule and 4 crappy non-conference games so Mississippi State can get back to winning.
Yeah,
I am not in favor of 9 games.
I don't know why people are wanting to do away with wins that are probably guaranteed.
Yeah, I don't.
You need every win that you can get here.
Yeah. All right, just yes or no here from our friend Jay in Baltimore. Dogs inside the top 10 preseason for baseball. If they get Becker and they add,
I'm gonna say no.
It'll be close,
but probably like 11th or 12th. I know it's yes or no, but
I know. So no. A true freshman gets any starts in SEC play? No.
No.
Frey and Sullivan are back in Starkville. I say yes.
Yes.
All right. Bradley Lofton throws a meaningful pitch for any team next year. I'm going to say I hope so. I just hope so. That kid has had a rough go. I know he's talented. I hope he can go somewhere and play college baseball.
Yeah. I think he does pitch for someone.
So we'll say yes.
I hope he does too.
All right. Cameron Worm.
Big Worm.
What is your favorite complimentary bread served at chain restaurants?
Texas Roadhouse.
Good choice.
Rolls.
That's a very good choice. I would say there's a top 3, and you can put them in any order you want. It's Texas Roadhouse rolls. I love the Olive Garden breadsticks.
Yes.
Really, really good. And then the brown bread at Outback Steakhouse. Very good.
I'm good with all 3.
All right, then. That's what we.
And we just talked about 3 like that, like. And I realized that he said chain restaurants, but like you can't beat those.
No,
like going to like a local place, they can't beat those.
No, I love a trip to Outback. I will go there anytime.
Anybody that craps on Logan's Roadhouse or Outback or place like that, like they're just doing it to try to be cool. Those places are awesome. Now, like I'm not gonna go as far as like I love Applebee's or anything like that. But if you give me
higher end chain restaurants, though, are good.
If you give me an Olive Garden in Starkville or like a Texas Roadhouse, I'm gonna go visit those places more often than not.
Yeah, I agree. Winston, caught my first episode of Sports Talk Mississippi last week. Is another guy always such a tit when Ole Miss loses?
You were excited to say that.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. Which one? Also, thoughts on the Chipper Jones boomer rant from last week. I miss this? What did Chipper do?
I think he was basically saying like he was sick of the antics in college baseball. You know, I'm not a get off my lawn guy, but I really think some of this stuff is too much. Yeah. Some of the stuff that we're seeing that like Tennessee's kind of made it famous, where we're like we hit the ball and then we just stand there and watch it go out for 5 seconds, and then we throw the bat as high as we can in the air. I'm waiting for somebody to do somersaults around the bases. That's going to happen.
It's coming.
Somebody is going. There was a video of some kid the other day hit a double and then hiked his leg like Elijah Moore and DK Metcalf and did the fake peeing thing. Like, I'm all good with celebrations and stuff, but we're getting to the point now where it's just ridiculous.
It's a little much. It's a little much.
Yeah. We're walking towards dugouts and stuff, like just it's little league stuff.
Yeah. Courtney Maroon asks us, what's the deal with the rubber ducks on Jeep dashboards? I see them all the time. I have no idea what they're about.
I don't understand it either.
Right. Jeep owners, let us know.
Thank God my dad hadn't started this trend, but
yeah. Also, in a conflict, is it better to tell the truth and risk hurting a friend's feelings and or your relationship, or not share honestly to spare the friend's feelings or your relationship?
I feel like it depends on what that is.
And it depends on what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
If you're just kind of being like, brutally honest on something like, hey, if you keep doing this, it's going to hurt you as a person or something like that. I think I'm totally for that.
Does the information benefit the person, or is it something you don't like? For example, if I were to say, Robbie, you've got to, let's say you were doing something that was hurting your career, and I knew that it was hurting your career. And like Paul Jones would come to me and be like, if Robbie doesn't fix this, we're going to have to let him go. And then I come to you and I'm like, Robbie, you've got to change this. That's good. That's something you need to tell him. But if, let's just say Robbie is just like, he picks up a verbal tick, and he just starts saying, know what I mean? Every time, like he turns into Vern, right? It turns into Jim Varney. And I'm like, Robbie, you got to cut that out. That's just me. I'm annoyed by it. Doesn't benefit Robbie in any way, is how I would put that. So does the information benefit the person you're telling? That's how you got to look at it.
Yes.
All right.
I agree.
We're on the same page. Tanner Pounders, what is your favorite moment all time as a wrestling fan? Jeez. I was at a Nitro that Sting came down from. You know what? Maybe it might be you and I were there the last time Sting came down from the rafters.
Yes.
We were there. That's something. Daniel Bryan winning at WrestleMania 30 would be on the list. Steve Austin's first world title would be on the list. Ricky Steamboat beating Flair for the title would be on the list. That's such a difficult question. There's just so many. You got one that stands out?
That's definitely up there for me. I thought that was a really cool experience, getting a chance, because I didn't get to experience Sting coming out of the rafters.
I was at a Nitro where that happened too.
When I saw him, it was Wolfpack Sting. Yeah. So is this like favorite moment you've witnessed in person?
Well, he just said favorite moment. It could be anything. I got to think, Daniel, you were at Daniel Bryan winning at WrestleMania.
That was pretty awesome. Yeah. That was pretty awesome. WrestleMania 30. Seeing Undertaker, his entrance for the first time was just unreal. And then that same WrestleMania, I got to see The Rock, Stone Cold, and Hulk Hogan come out at the same time. That was insane.
And the Undertaker lost.
Yes, Undertaker lost. The streak was over.
30 is such an incredible WrestleMania. So, all right. Rob Hadaway, the Slim Chickens in Ridgeland closed suddenly a couple weeks ago. It wasn't my favorite tender place, but it was the most convenient, and the kids liked it. I am left with $13 of rewards and a free jar dessert coming for my birthday. Is it this worth making the trip to Starkville to cash it in? There's got to be a closer Slim Chickens to you, Rob, than Starkville. There's got to be.
Is there not one on? I guess there's not one in Flowwood, is it?
I don't know. It might be the one he's talking about, so I don't know.
That's not really Ridgeland, though.
Oh, he said Ridgeland. Yeah, I thought there was one in Flowwood then. So, yeah. I don't know. But that said, it's up to you. If you're going to be in Starkville the next couple of weeks, yeah, by all means, use it.
I would not come to Starkville for Slim Chickens.
I would not come to Starkville on my birthday just because you get a free dessert.
Yeah, that is the all-time cheap move there.
It's not even cheap. You have to. He lives in.
That's true.
He's got to drive up here.
No, Rob. No.
Also from Rob, is Punk versus Cena this generation's Piper versus Hogan? The only difference is that Piper never won the title, and Cena's won it a couple times.
It would be like Piper versus Hogan in WCW?
Yeah, something like that. But even then, that was just like like
they're not in their prime.
Yeah. Also, last one. As we listen to this episode, it will be my 49th birthday. So if today's your birthday, Rob, no, don't come and get Slim Chickens.
No.
What should be my goals in the final year I can at least somewhat plausibly deny being old? You need to do so. We were just talking about the waterfall thing. Go do something that young people do. Go climb a rock or something.
Yes.
And then people will be like, "Hey, he's not that old. He climbed."
Don't go climb a rock where you're dangling.
Yeah, pick an easy rock,
500 feet from the ground. Though.
Exactly. Reed Green asks us. Last season, Mississippi State finished 125th in total defense, which is putrid. If they were to somehow finish somewhere between 90th and 100th this year, while doubling their sack total to make it 20, do they make a bowl game? It would be close.
It would be close. It's 10 more sacks.
Mm-hmm. So at that point, you're averaging almost 2 sacks a game. That's pretty good. That's not bad.
Between 90th and 100th would not – I mean, that would still be bad, but I guess you're assuming, like, your offense is going to be significantly better. Like,
yeah,
the offense would have to be, like, what, 30 points a game?
Yeah.
In that case – if that's the case, then it would be close, I think.
So I'm trying to look something up here. Let me do some quick math here. So 20 sacks would be 1.66 repeating percent, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Robbie, you're still that's like 94th last year. So it's still not a lot of sacks. So I don't know.
20 is still not great.
Yeah, and then
that's not bad.
90th in total defense. If you're top 25 in offense, you got a chance.
That's not bad last year's defense. Like,
yeah,
having 10 sacks last year and doubling that, and you're still not very good.
State last year was third from the bottom. They were tied for second to last in sacks per game last year. Only Oregon State had fewer sacks than Mississippi State did. That's insane. That's insane.
I mean, you had several players that had more sacks than Mississippi State.
Oh, yeah. I saw Ford Polk's question on my timeline about where to eat in St. Pete, which brought up this memory. Robbie, do you remember when the power went out at that sports bar as Ohio State missed the field goal versus Georgia?
Yes, I do remember that. There was like a little sports bar there, and we went in there to eat. It was me, John, and a few others, a couple of my friends. Reed was there. Mm-hmm. And we just went to chill and watch Ohio State, Georgia. And they're lining up for the field goal, and the power goes out across town. Like, we had Georgia fans in there.
Yeah.
And so we had to pull it up on our phones. Like, what happened? They snapped the ball, and the thing, literally, the power went out.
Y2K, what year was that? 22. Y2K 22.
21. Yeah.
Uncle Baby Billy Dog. Shut up.
Oh,
God. With all this talk about old MSU t-shirts that have survived for a while, please rate this shirt my dad purchased back in Mullen's first season that is now mine. And yes, this shirt is still pretty consistently in the rotation.
It looks like something from the NIL store.
It does. It's kind of rough.
That is I don't know. Is that a Walmart shirt? Would they put more cowbell on a Walmart shirt?
They might, yeah.
That's rough,
back of the shirt, too. I need to see the front. Is it just, what does it say on the front?
Yes, that's rough.
Brooks Taylor, not a fan of Rollins winning the briefcase and thought LA Knight should have. What are your thoughts? I feel like we've seen this story already. Everything I read about WWE is saying it's bad. It's bad right now. Do you agree?
No.
Okay.
No, I think it's fine. You're reading people that are pro AEW.
No, I'm not. I'm not though. I'm reading.
Who you reading?
I just see.
Tell me.
I just see stuff trending on Twitter, and people are saying it's not in a good spot right now.
It's in a good spot. It's just there's a couple of things that they won't go through with, and it's
like the Cena heel turn has kind of bottomed out, is what they're saying.
Well, it just doesn't really make much sense. They did the whole thing with The Rock, and that they missed the boat on that.
And then I saw that Gunther got the world title back last night, so like the whole Jey Uso thing was kind of pointless.
Well, I
Did
think
it spoil that for
that's
you? Did you
better.
watch?
That's a better champion.
Oh, I agree with that. I love Gunther. I think
I
he's
think that
fantastic.
was just kind of like give the fans what they want.
And then, okay.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't think that reign was going to be very long anyway. I mean, Uso really struggles to talk.
Yeah.
Like they got into like a back and forth, like him and Gunther. And Gunther was having to like tell him his lines. So I just don't see long term that's your champion. But LA Knight should be pushed more than he is.
It's
And
been 3 years of waiting for him to take that step.
Killer Cross should be pushed more.
Yeah.
He's doing some really cool things that they're not really bringing out. They did do exactly what I told you they were going to do with R-Truth.
You nailed that one. Yeah.
And that was a work. That was a great. That they thought that was a great part of the story.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's that bad. I think they're trying out some things, and some things aren't working. The stories are okay. It's just, it's kind of up and down right now. I just think they probably trust Seth Rollins to be a top of the line guy more than they do LA Knight.
Also from Brooks, who's your number 2 team to pull for after state? I'm married into Georgia, but I always liked them for Rick way back. And I hope USM does well, except for when state plays them, of course. I've always liked the U. I like Miami.
The Bad Boys, Miami.
I like Miami. Yeah, I don't have a problem pulling for Miami. State never plays them, so what do I care?
I don't really care. I don't really pull for a number 2 team, honestly. Georgia is a team that I've like out of the SEC teams is one that I've never hated.
Yeah.
Or never like really pulled against.
Yeah, I respect Georgia. So all right, Brett Christensen asks, fast forward to July of 2026. If Mississippi State has a successful athletic year, then blank happened. What will you consider successful for the athletic department as a whole? So men's basketball back in the tournament, I'll just take, if they lose again in the first round, so be it. As long as they're in the postseason, it means you had a good year. Baseball, I expect to be in the hosting discussion. That's just that's fair for me. Being in the hosting discussion means you're one of the top 15 teams in the country. Football is more interesting, right? If I say it's a successful year, then Levy found a way to get to 5 or 6 wins. And I hate that 5 is a successful year, but it really is.
It is this year.
Yeah.
If you are
my big 3, what would I need to see?
I think you're pretty much on track there. NCAA tournament for basketball with a win. They really need to get over that hump.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball, I think a successful year is hosting.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're bringing in an elite coach, you're putting elite money into it. I don't think your expectation should be, can we just like get to the tournament this year?
Yeah.
Can we, I think you need to be a pretty firm host. I think you need to be a top 16 team.
Agreed.
Because you're going to have the money, you're going to have the coach, you should have the players. And then football, 5 wins with a chance to win 6. I think if you could somehow get to 6, that would be a really successful year this year.
Agreed.
That's kind of where I am at.
100% agree with that. Alexandra Watson asks us, why isn't anyone ever the right amount of whelmed?
That's very, very true.
I've been overwhelmed and I've been underwhelmed, but I don't know that I've ever. Am I just whelmed right this second? Right this second, are you and I just whelmed?
I'm a little whelmed.
Okay.
I'm a little whelmed.
All right.
So whelmed is engulfed, submerged, or buried.
That's interesting. So if you're whelmed, you're already buried. What is overwhelmed then?
You're over the bury. Your head's above water, I guess. Your head's above.
No, but overwhelmed is a bad thing. Like if you're overwhelmed, that's not good. Underwhelmed means your head's above water. Overwhelmed must mean you're just dead.
It also means flow or heap up abundantly.
Well, there you go. I don't know.
I don't know.
Matt McCann finally got Robbie to miss one, but he is still the GOAT of Mississippi high school mascots. This week's list, I know most of these. There's only one I don't. I take it back. I think I do know all 3 of them, all 5 of them. Here we go. Neshoba Central.
Rockets.
That's right. Ocean Springs.
Greyhounds.
Right. Stanislaus.
Rocket Shawls.
That's right. Taylorsville.
The Tartars.
That's right. And then Pearl River Central is the only one I'm not 100% sure on. I think I know it, though.
Blue Devils.
I had to look that one up. You're right. They are the Blue Devils.
I always get Pearl River Central and Perry Central mixed up. Perry Central, I believe, is the Bulldogs.
I think that's right. That's where our buddy Nick Griffin is still coaching, I believe. That is all
I think they're the Bulldogs. But I usually
Pearl
get
River Community College the Bobcats?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I had in my head. Okay.
No. Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay.
You have Jones College and Pearl River Community College. They're both kind of similar colors and stuff.
Yes.
I think you're correct.
Okay. Jeffrey Chancellor, water gun full of sour milk to your head. Oh. Rank these Mexican desserts. Tres leches, churros, sopapilla, and flan. I love churros. I seek churros.
Yeah.
Like
churros are great.
If I go to a restaurant, I see churros on the menus, that's happening.
Sopapilla, I think, is still near and dear to my heart.
Good. Tres leches is a very good cake. Flan is kind of eh.
Flan's probably last.
Yeah.
I think I would probably go churros first.
Yes.
But Sopapilla is definitely
second,
right up there.
Leches third, and flan fourth.
What about the cinnamon twists? Where are the cinnamon twists from Taco Bell?
That's a churro. That's their churro.
I guess it is.
Yeah. Dalton Lee. Oh, imagine this, Robbie. Just got back from a Canadian wedding where we had to wear kilts.
I mean, what kind of life is this man living?
Surprisingly, they may be the most comfortable thing I've ever worn. Should kilts be more commonly worn? I don't think I've ever been more free. All right. Very controversial take coming. Here it comes. Because I was having this discussion with my older daughter the other day. She does not like to wear dresses.
Yes.
And I told her, we're going to a nice restaurant while we're in Chicago. You're going to wear a dress. And she was like, I just don't want to wear a dress. And I was like, you realize that, like, this is backwards. Men should be the ones who wear dresses. Like, we're the ones that have stuff that we're sitting on down there.
Chafing.
Like, we need to be free. Like, women don't have that. I think a kilt is a fantastic thing. I think more men should wear them.
They had it right back in the day.
Scottish had it correct. The men,
especially in the South, like
look,
we're suffocating down there. We're suffocating. We need some help.
Exactly.
If it's proper, we need some proper ventilation.
Agreed. The Walking Bully, is that I have this correct? You're taking a cross-country road trip with one of the original 12 disciples. Which one are you choosing? Well, first off, you're going to have to drive the whole time because none of them know how to drive.
Correct.
Cars weren't invented. I'm definitely going Peter.
Yeah, and you're also going to have to walk in, back in the day, you have to walk in sandals.
Yes.
Thongs, they called them.
They did.
Yeah, I mean, Peter's the leader of the troop.
Yeah.
He's right underneath the head man.
Yeah. Cody, what's your best dad joke?
My go-to is always at the restaurant whenever you tell them you hated the meal and your plate's clean.
Big fan of that. I love
you love a good dad joke yourself.
Dad, can I do this? And I don't know, can you? I every day. That's an everyday thing.
Instead of may I?
Yeah. Or should I or whatever. Yeah. What's your best dad advice? Just being a dad, it's just about picking your battles. Like sometimes it's okay to say yes. You don't have to be a hard ass every time. Sometimes it's okay to say yes, but sometimes you have to say no, and you have to be willing to say no. And if you're not, you're going to end up with a bad kid. There's just no way around that.
Yep.
You got anything else?
No, I mean, like just the pick your battles thing is a big thing for me. Every now and then I start thinking about it, and I'm like, I'm getting annoyed at something, and this is a 6-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Like, where was I when I was 6 years old? What was I thinking when I was 6 years old?
That's a good way to think of things.
You have to kind of put yourself in their shoes sometimes and realize, hey, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Last one from Cody. Is there any chance Brian ever brings back the bowl cut? No. I'm those days are over.
I would like to see it.
It's not going to happen, I'm afraid. Jennings Fulton, who's playing in the College World Series Finals this year and who takes home the gold? I think we end up with an LSU versus Oregon State final, and LSU wins. Is what it is.
I would love to see Murray State coming out of that bracket, but
Oh my gosh, it'd be so great.
It's just gonna be tough for them.
If I could get Murray State versus Coastal Carolina, I don't think about. But Coastal Carolina is there are two schools in here that I do not want to win: Arkansas and Coastal Carolina. I don't want Coastal Carolina to have a second national title before Mississippi State does. I can't live with that. So
yeah, we talked about it. I mean, LSU, they're just kind of are what they are.
They are. Yeah, I don't care.
They already have 6 more national championships than State does. So
yeah, what do I care? What's one more? All right. Mangum Cafe. As a child, how were you told people contracted pink eye? I mean, you just found out through the grapevine. Like somebody didn't come to school. Like what happened?
I was told that if you got somebody farted on your pillow.
Oh, he's asking how you can. Oh, I thought okay. Yes, that's how we were told. Yeah, that somebody got crap in their eye, basically.
Yeah.
Explain the Zach Smith 2007 hit for the kids who did not see it. If I may quote Tom Jackson, he got jacked up. Oh.
It was like with the guy that's the Twitch streamer that got speared by Broen Breaker. Yes. That's pretty much what it was.
Yes. Last one from the Mangum Cafe. You can only bring one back to Starkville. The Veranda Blue Plate only, or the Grumpy's entire menu. We're definitely going Grumpy's. I love the Blue Plate, but
I can go get a good Blue Plate. That Grumpy's menu, I don't know if I can get in Starkville.
Yeah,
and on top of that, you have a chance to like sit in the back and back then they had like a pitcher of beer for college kids.
Yeah,
you had the huge big screen TV to watch games.
Definitely going Grumpy's.
The place was sick.
Last one from Andrew Norwood. Which of the current MSU head coaches would be the best at doing a spinneroonie, and which would be the funniest? I got a feeling that Purcell's the best at this.
But it's got to be somebody that's going to be really athletic.
Purcell likes to dance. Purcell is my choice for the best. The funniest, first off, I wish Mike Leach was still alive because that would be the easiest question ever. The funniest would probably be, I guess it's Jans.
Jans would be pretty funny.
Yeah, Levy's athletic because he's a big guy, but he played football. He's an athletic guy. Yeah, Jans is probably my answer.
He's nimble.
Yeah. Last one. Also, who beat Cena for the title? Because we all know it won't be Punk in Saudi Arabia. It's probably going to be Reigns at the end of the year, right? Because it can't be Rollins. Maybe Reigns beats Cena.
Well, a lot can happen.
Reigns beats Cena, and then Rollins just cashes in right then.
I think it's probably going to be Cody Rhodes, don't you?
I think the ship has sailed on Cody. I'm telling you.
That?
I just don't know. I don't know with Cody.
I think it's probably going to be him.
We'll see.
But it could be somebody that he kind of handpicks that he wants to put over.
Well, who is that though? Who could that be?
I don't know.
I don't know the answer. I don't know.
Can we get Joe Hendry in there?
You say his name, he will appear.
No, we'll see.
All right. That's all for today. Tomorrow's show, our first opponent preview of the summer. We'll talk about the Ole Miss Rebels with Michael Katz of the Tupelo Daily Journal. Plus an interview from Sports Talk Mississippi that I'm going to bring over here with Greg McElroy. We talked about quarterbacks, and I hit him up specifically about shape and get his thoughts on that. But I think it's just a good college football conversation to start bringing in this time of year. So we'll do that on tomorrow's show as well. Guys, have a great Wednesday. I'm back with you on Thursday. For Robbie Falk, I'm Brian Haydad. Thanks for listening to Thunder and Lightning here on Super Talk, Mississippi.